Who would win in a fight, you or a bear? Well, it depends what type of bear it is. So against my teddy bear, I mean, it's easy. Against the grizzly bear, I rather not get into that fight in the first place. Hello everyone, my name is Shi Heng Yi, and I'm here to answer some questions from the honesty box. So let's get started. How did you become a Shaolin master? Usually inside this tradition, you go through a graduation system, which means, especially in the field of martial arts, I started with the age of 4, did different exams in the practical area, and at some point also had to learn theoretical knowledge, and afterwards you're being tested, and if your skills are proficient enough, then this is the moment where your master that you trained under is raising you up to also become another master along this line. So for us, and also for me, it's not the mastery of physical abilities, it is the mastery of becoming a good human being. That is the mastery. Because somebody who can throw 1,000 punches, make 500 push-ups, make very nice forms, beautiful forms, but still walks out on the street, and when somebody like next to him falls to the ground, doesn't help that person up, doesn't deserve the master title. What does fighting teach you about compassion? When you learn the martial arts, for example, very practically speaking, we learn about the vulnerabilities, the weak points of the human body. We learn where to hit that it hurts the most and where to hit to really cause some devastating pain or even some collapse. This is the one side. One type of training that we find in the Shaolin tradition, especially for the ones who practice martial arts, is the practice of so-called forms. A form, it is like a choreography consisting of different sections, which have again different individual movements inside. And what I was sharing with my disciple on the one side is, for example, a staff form. It teaches you coordination. It teaches you also how to actually handle the staff. It also teaches you how to use power with the staff. It teaches you how to connect the body with the staff. And so it is something where you train on the one side the body, but also you train your concentration, you train your focus, and you train just the ability to mobilize energy, to mobilize power. So knowing all of this means that because I know how fragile the body is, on the one side, I know what needs to be done to destroy it. But on the other side, I also know, therefore, what to do in order to maintain and actually to heal the body. Every one of us has a very, very precious and fragile body. And this fact alone is, at least for me, raising my understanding and raising my feeling that even though I know how to destroy bodies, I don't want to destroy bodies. Can you explain the significance of your clothing? I don't go specifically into this clothing that I'm wearing. I just refer to it as a uniform. And a uniform means that sometimes in the morning when I wake up, I do not have to think about what to put on. I know it's going to be a uniform, almost regardless which color it is, because it simplifies my life when I have other things that are maybe more important or more relevant for me. So having this type of uniform on the one side, the trousers usually are a little bit more wide because of the martial art practice of kicking and jumping. And on the other side, there's also the resemblance to what is called the monk's robe, So emphasizing that we have a physical part about the Shaolin tradition, but also very essential, a spiritual or a mental aspect to all of this. Can you chop wood with your hand? It depends how thick that wood is, but I do assume yes. Do you ever watch Kung Fu movies? What do you think of Jackie Chan? Well, I grew up and being very much motivated by Bruce Lee, by Jackie Chan, by Jet Li, by Jean-Claude Van Damme, by all of them. And what do I think about Jackie Chan? I really feel like that what he has done for this world in understanding the martial arts and also the fun of it, the joy of it, and bringing people the joy of watching these movies. I look up to him, and yes. How long can you hold a plank? Okay. I'm not sure when I did it the last time, but I do imagine, 15 minutes, 20 minutes, something around this. Can Shaolins have relationships? It depends on what Shaolin. A scholar monk, a Shaolin monk inside the temple, for example, in China, they usually are not supposed to have a relationship. But it's not that somebody tells them you're not allowed to. Because all of this, Shaolin is a way of life, and you need to decide how much dedication and how much commitment do you see yourself in. And if you want to stay in the temple, you should not even have the wish to have a relationship, because it is about developing yourself on a mental and spiritual level. So, can Shaolins have relationships? Absolutely. Are you allowed to cry? I never heard anybody in this tradition to tell you not to cry as such. But maybe cultural-wise, where I'm coming from, let's say Vietnam, it is just, it's not a common thing to express your emotions in public, for example. But just if you've never seen me crying, doesn't mean I never cried. It's just the difference. Some people are crying in public and other people go into their basement to cry. Who would win in a fight, you or a bear? Well, it depends what type of bear it is. So against my teddy bear, it's easy. Against the grizzly bear, I rather not get into that fight in the first place. Why do you shave your head? For me personally, it has a similar reason why I most of the times wear uniform, because it simplifies my life. I wake up in the morning and then in 5 minutes, 6 minutes, I'm ready. I'm ready to go. I brush my teeth, I wash my face, I do this one time and then it's done. And I'm ready to go. It just saves time. But on a traditional meaning maybe, in the past, cutting off the hair, meaning you are renouncing a little bit from the worldly affairs. Because this is the reason nowadays the hair, the style is a reflection of a status. It is a reflection of how you would like to be seen. But in the Shaolin tradition or the Buddhist tradition, all of this outside, this is not the value that you carry. The value comes from here. So this is another reason why the hair for traditional monks is usually shaved off. Can women become Shaolin masters? From my opinion, absolutely, as long as it refers to mastering the skills, mastering the body, embodying the spirit of Shaolin. Shaolin doesn't know the difference between gender. Shaolin is just a way of life, regardless whether you're female or male or anything in between. What does a Buddha statue represent? So most of the times when you see a Buddha statue, we see somebody whose name was Prince Siddhartha Gautama, who, after his enlightenment, was named the Buddha. So Buddha is not a name. Buddha, it is a title. And that title, translated, means the awakened one. So what is it that we see as this statue? What does it represent? It represents that every normal human being is able to attain what we call Buddhahood, able to attain what also the person from that statue achieved. He woke up. Waking up from what? Waking up from all the illusion, waking up from all the things that you are being faced with in this lifetime that makes you suffer. So what is the reason for that statue? It always reminds us there is a way out of the suffering of our life. Why do Shaolins practice martial art? Well, not everybody who comes from the Shaolin tradition practices martial art. Now, if we go back into the historical side of the Shaolin temple in China, we actually have two types of Shaolin practitioners, let's call them. On the one side, we have so-called scholar monks, and then on the other side, we have so-called warrior monks. Those warrior monks, they live inside the temple. They also have some basic understanding and knowledge from Buddhism, but their main practice is the practice of martial arts. Have you ever fallen in love? Absolutely. Yes. Fallen in love and then rising in love. What do you think happens when we die? I do think it is not the end, but let's put it like this. This body 100% has an expiration date, just out of the fact that where does our body come from? It comes from everything that from birth until now we ate, we drank, so that means this body is made out of what the farmer right now is like collecting on the field, yeah? Potatoes and carrots and all type of things. So that means because this body is consisting of things that have grown on this earth, in every supermarket, everything has an expiration date. So our body is the result, the collection of food and drinks that by nature already have an expiration date, which means this body has an expiration date. But the mind, because we talk about body and mind in the Shaolin tradition, the mind is something, it's very difficult to grasp it. And there is one image or one explanation where we say the body relates to the earth and our mind relates to the sky. And if you look above into the sky, you will realize the sky has no limits. So therefore, the body falls away. But the mind, I don't know where it is, but it cannot be gone. Have you seen Kung Fu Panda? I haven't seen Kung Fu Panda, but I know there's a Shifu as well. So therefore, maybe at some point, I might watch it. What do people get wrong about you? Well, it is the projection that, for example, right now, even though you see me talking to you right now, wearing this uniform, representing the Shaolin tradition, but that's just what you see publicly. Sometimes if I go out with my best friends from the past, I don't even wear a uniform. Sometimes when I'm home with my son, then my son doesn't see me as a Shaolin master, he just sees me as a father. When I go out with my mother or visit my mother, she doesn't care if I'm Shaolin or not, she sees me as the son. So what does it mean? There are many sides about me. Everybody has different roles and has different sides. And it is always, always wrong to portray a single image upon a person. Everybody has more sides. It's just the thing that not all those sides are being shared in public. Do you ever eat junk food? Absolutely. My first junk food I really loved was when I was visiting the United States many years ago, and I was so much craving for an original USA Whopper. Yeah, and of course, nowadays, I reduce it. Can you really eliminate pain? No, that might be a misconception. If I smash the wood, or if the wood is smashed on me, or if I smash the stone, or if somebody kicks me or punches me, I can feel it. I can feel it as well. It's just that because I have done it so often, I have a different relationship to that feeling that appears. And sometimes this feeling is just not strong enough to stop me from continuing what I have put on my mind. So what happens throughout conditioning or learning to deal with pain, it's exactly that. It is still painful, but your mind has a different relation. So that means you have the ability to decide, do you still want to go on, or do you see this signal right now as a stopping point? Can you help me stay calm instead of going from 0 to? That is a 1 with, okay, to 1 billion in 1 second. Okay. I would say it's called regulation. We need to learn to regulate ourselves. And just as in the Kung Fu training, I didn't start being able to do, let's say, 100 push-ups. It starts, you do 5, then you get stronger, you do 10, then you get stronger, you do 20, you get stronger 50, you get stronger 100. And in the same way, it is like this. Getting calm immediately is not going to happen. There is no solution to just push the button and then all the anger and all the anxiety and stress would be gone. But there is a way to develop it. There is a way to train it. And anyway, I cannot help you because you need to help yourself. Next time you get angry, you inhale, you exhale, and then next time you just try to increase the number of breaths before you take any action. So breathe out, use the breath as a method to get rid of anger. Not everything will disappear, but a big part will. Do you ever get road rage? So, I do drive car and I also ride motorbike. A few years back, of course, I felt the anger rising when something was happening on the road and somebody just crossed the lines and all things like this. But meanwhile, I just always remind myself, sometimes people are just not even aware of what they are doing. They don't know who is sitting in the car, whether it's me or another person, which means I don't take anything that happens on public roads personally. And this is like a thought which just makes me calm down way more quick, and therefore also then take the decision to not waste more time in messing up my day just because somebody crossed my way. It's just if he crosses it again, then it means there's a reason why we cross again, and then it's different. Is it harder to master your body or mind? It is, from my perspective, way more difficult to master the mind. What's your guilty pleasure? Guilty pleasure. I usually don't have guilty pleasure because no matter what I do, if I feel the temptation to do something, I usually think about it in advance. Is it really worth it? Do I really want to do it or not? And even if it's a temptation, and even if it is a pleasure, once I decided, okay, I'm going to go for it, I don't regret it afterwards because I thought about it before. Most difficult endurance test is walking through this lifetime and keep the purity and the kindness of your heart. Staying kind, even if you've been betrayed so often, you have been lied to so often, you have suffered so much, so many people gave you pain, so many war, so many criminality, and all of this is happening on a daily basis, and yet you keep something about you, the faith, the hope, and the kindness, because if you don't keep it, then everything will be lost. Are you allowed to drink alcohol? Usually in a temple and in a monastic temple especially, there is the rule, don't take any type of intoxicants, anything that blurs or shifts your awareness. And alcohol is one of these substances. So therefore meaning, it doesn't explicitly say don't drink alcohol. It says, don't take anything to you that blurries or puts a veil onto your mind. Number one tip you have for the masses. I think it would help very, very much to always keep in mind, on the one side, we have a world which feels like it is an individual world where everything is about you, but we are not alone on this planet, meaning it would be good to always keep in mind there is a connection and we are not the only ones living on this earth. Therefore, jumping back to the main conclusion, whatever you do, don't harm other people unnecessarily. Have you ever been persecuted because of who you are? I've been persecuted like on a daily basis by everyone who thinks that this is the only thing that I am, and therefore persecuted because of who you are. This is a role. This is the way in order to share something with you, but it's not who I am. Because when I was born, I wasn't born with this. I wasn't even born as Shaolin. That one is the who. This is just the additional role that somehow appeared in the last, 12, 13 years publicly. So who am I is a different question. Do you believe in hell? I don't believe that hell is something that comes later. I don't believe hell is a place where some little creepy creatures are walking around and where the dominant color is like red and flame and hot. No, this is not what I believe in. I believe that right now, here, where you are, where I am, you can either create hell where you are, or you can at the same time also create paradise and heaven where you are. So for me, the expression heaven and hell is not a location. It is the state of your mind. Your mind can be in hell and your mind can be in paradise. This is the reason why in Buddhist teachings it is about disciplining, learning more about the mind, because it's the power of the mind that ultimately reflects into how you perceive this lifetime.
Do nuns drink alcohol? They certainly do. The answer to that is yes, and if you'd like to ask me what my tipple is, it's a bottle of Newcastle brown ale.